1. Andrew Cristall's NHL journey, from WHL success to Caps opportunity. 2. Andrew Cristall's gap-toothed smile at Capitals development camp. 3. Andrew Cristall, the hockey nerd following in Ovechkin's footsteps. 1. Andrew Cristall's NHL journey, from WHL success to Caps opportunity. Imagine a young hockey phenom tearing up junior leagues so dominantly that NHL executives can barely contain their excitement. That's Andrew Cristall's reality after a jaw-dropping 2024-25 WHL season. But here's where it gets controversial. Can this offensive dynamo bypass minor league development altogether? Let's unpack why the Washington Capitals might fast-track him to the big show. And Cristall didn't just play in the WHL last season, he owned it. Skating for both the Kelowna Rockets and Spokane Chiefs, he racked up a staggering 132 points, 48 goals, 84 assists, in just 57 games, earning the Bob Clarke Trophy as the league's top scorer. If that wasn't impressive enough, he elevated his game further during the playoffs, notching 41 points, 21 goals, 20 assists, in 19 postseason contests. That's the kind of production that makes scouts drool. And now comes the real test. Will Cristall start his professional career with the Washington Capitals or their AHL affiliate, the Hershey Bears? Capitals GM Chris Patrick dropped a bombshell recently, suggesting Cristall might skip prolonged AHL seasoning entirely. If he has a camp like last camp, it's going to be hard on the coaching staff to not keep him, Patrick revealed. Even more tellingly, Patrick added, I think we're going to see Andrew playing NHL games sooner rather than later. That's not just hype, it's a direct challenge to the conventional wisdom that prospects need minor league adjustment periods, and remember last preseason. Cristall already made Washington's decision-makers sweat when he tied for the team's scoring lead in exhibition games, 3 points in 4 games. The only reason he didn't crack the opening night roster? An obscure NHL-CHL transfer agreement forced him back to junior hockey since he wasn't AHL eligible yet. Talk about a frustrating technicality, and here's what's changed dramatically since then, Cristall's physical maturity. Draft measurements listed him at 5'9" and 167 pounds, but recent CHL data shows he's grown to at least 5'10" and 185 pounds. The extra muscle and reach matter enormously when transitioning to professional hockey's punishing physicality. When Cristall joined Hershey briefly as a black ace during their playoff run, team officials raved about his improved physique and readiness, and now, the stage is perfectly set. The Capitals publicly prioritize injecting youth into their lineup this offseason, with 4 veteran forwards, Lars Eller, Anthony Beauvillier, Andrew Mangiapane, and Taylor Radish, hitting free agency. Cristall won't just be handed a spot, he'll battle prospects like Ivan Miroshnichenko and Bogdan Trinev in training camp. But consider this counterpoint, should Washington really risk rushing such a prized asset? While his skill screams NHL ready, the AHL's physical, grinding style could theoretically provide valuable seasoning, and so what's your take? Does Cristall's extraordinary talent justify skipping the traditional development path? Should the Caps unleash him immediately or exercise caution? Sound off below with your verdict. 2. Andrew Cristall's gap-toothed smile at Capitals development camp. Imagine walking into a room with a gap-toothed grin and a chip on your shoulder, ready to prove everyone wrong. That's exactly the attitude Andrew Cristall brought to the Capitals development camp in Arlington, Virginia. Just 8 months after narrowly missing a spot on the Capitals' opening night roster, Cristall returned to DC, a year wiser and 1 tooth lighter. During his time with the Western Hockey League's Spokane Chiefs, a high stick to the face cost Cristall one of his front incisors, giving him that classic hockey player's smile. Despite the inconvenience, Cristall found a silver lining. I rock the no tooth, and I rock the flipper when I'm going out for dinner with my parents or something, but I kind of like the no tooth look, he said with a chuckle. His admiration for Capitals star Alex Ovechkin, who has famously sported a similar smile, inspired him to embrace his new look. If Alex Ovechkin can do it, maybe I'll try, Cristall added. Standing at 5'10" and weighing 172 pounds, Cristall doesn't exactly fit the traditional mold of a hockey player. However, his on-ice performance and that distinctive smile tell a different story. Drafted in the second round by the Capitals in 2023, Cristall has been a scoring sensation at the junior level. Last season, he led the league with 132 points, 48 goals and 84 assists, in 57 WHL games. His impressive play almost secured him an NHL debut in October, but he was one of the final 2 cuts before opening night. Despite the setback, Cristall remains optimistic and hungry for more. I think every year is new. I don't really think come camp this year, it's going to really matter what I did last year. I think it's turning a whole new page, and I have a whole new opportunity to make the team and put my best foot forward, he explained. This fresh perspective is crucial for any young athlete, and Cristall's determination is clear. The extra year in juniors provided Cristall with invaluable playoff experience. After a mid-season trade to the Spokane Chiefs, he helped lead the team to the WHL championship, where they fell short against the Medicine Hat Tigers. During the playoffs, Cristall racked up 41 points, 21 goals and 20 assists, in 19 games, including an impressive 8-game goal streak. It was awesome for me. I got traded at the deadline, and I was pretty fortunate to get put in a really good situation. It was kind of my first really long playoff run and going deep in the finals, and we had such a good team. It was really cool to learn that process of how you've got to take care of yourself and the way you got to play in the playoffs to have success. It was just a really fun year, all in all, he reflected. Cristall's standout performance didn't go unnoticed by Capitals management. General Manager Chris Patrick expressed confidence in Cristall's potential, saying, "It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. He's going to come in, if he has a camp like last camp, it's going to be hard on the coaching staff to not keep him on their NHL team. And if he's not up here, he's down in Hershey and getting adjusted to pro hockey. I think we're going to see Andrew playing NHL games sooner rather than later." Now, as Cristall attends his third Capitals development camp, he's focused on making the final push to the NHL. His goals include improving his size, speed, and defensive skills to increase his chances of earning a roster spot. "My mindset is just being as ready as I can to try and come into camp and make the team. I think the same sort of thing, just getting bigger and faster, stronger, and just getting ready to win puck battles along the boards. Little details in the defensive zone, I think will help me a lot in camp. And so if I can do that, I think I can push the needle pretty well," he concluded. But here's where it gets controversial. Some might argue that Cristall's smaller stature could be a liability in the NHL, but his determination and skill suggest otherwise. What do you think? Will Cristall's unique approach and on-ice talent be enough to secure him a spot on the Capitals? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 3. Andrew Cristall, the hockey nerd following in Ovechkin's footsteps. If you've ever wondered what separates the good hockey players from the great ones, it might just come down to how much they obsess over the game. Andrew Cristall, a promising prospect for the Washington Capitals, isn't just playing hockey, he's living and breathing it. And this is where things get fascinating. Cristall admits that his love for watching NHL games rivals his passion for playing them. For anyone trying to understand how elite athletes sharpen their skills, this could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Cristall, selected by the Capitals in the second round of the 2023 NHL draft, describes himself as a self-proclaimed hockey addict. His nightly routine? gathering with teammates from the Western Hockey League, WHL, to dive deep into NHL matchups. It's not just casual viewing, it's a deliberate study session. I absolutely love the game, Cristall shared during an episode of the Break the Ice podcast with Mike Vogel. I'm one of those people who's always checking scores, looking at standings, and keeping up with everything happening around the league. Once the NHL games start rolling, usually around 4 o'clock Pacific time, it's game on for Cristall and his crew. They'll settle onto the couch, glued to the screen, dissecting every play and discussing strategies late into the night. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Cristall's dedication to watching hockey goes beyond mere fandom. During the 2024-25 season, which he split between the Kelowna Rockets and Spokane Chiefs, he kept a close eye on the Capitals' journey. Specifically, he followed Captain Alex Ovechkin's historic pursuit of Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goals record. It was incredible, Cristall recalled. I was waking up early to catch games if I had to. Like when Ovi scored goal number 895, it was a matinee game, so I set my alarm for 9 in the morning after playing a game the night before. Watching moments like that unfold made the entire season unforgettable. Now, let's talk about Cristall's unique perspective on the game. He sees himself as cut from the same cloth as Dylan Strome, the Capitals centerman known for his encyclopedic knowledge of hockey stats. Strome knew everything about every player and team, Cristall explained. And honestly, I feel like I'm similar in that way. While Strome can recount shifts, plays, and details from games across the league, veteran players like TJ Oshie take a different approach. They rarely watch games unless they're playing in them. But according to Vogel, Cristall strikes a balance between these two extremes. He's got a bit of both, Vogel noted, highlighting how Cristall's analytical mindset complements his enthusiasm for learning from the pros. So why does Cristall spend so much time watching hockey? The answer lies in his belief that observing the best players elevates his own game. Just watching how the top guys play helps me improve, he said. My nights are pretty much filled with hockey because I think it makes a difference. This isn't a recent habit either. Cristall has been studying the sport since he was young. Growing up, he idolized defensive legends like the Sedin twins, Henrik and Daniel, whose seamless teamwork captivated him. They were magical to watch, he reminisced. The way they handled the puck and anticipated each other's moves, I wanted to incorporate some of that into my own style. Fast forward to today, and Cristall still draws inspiration from current stars like Nikita Kucherov and Mitch Marner. However, since joining the Capitals organization, he's developed a deeper admiration for former players such as TJ Oshie and Nicklas Bäckström. Watching how Oshie competed and how Bäckström thought the game was eye-opening, he said. There's so much I can learn from their approaches. One advantage Cristall has is his close relationship with NHL stars Connor Bedard and Ken Johnson. These friendships give him insider access to professional insights that most prospects only dream of. Bedard, the first overall pick in the 2023 NHL draft, and Cristall have been best friends since childhood. Meanwhile, Johnson, who plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets, lives with Cristall and frequently offers advice. I try not to bug them too much, Cristall joked, but they're always willing to share tips and help me understand what it takes to succeed at the highest level. Reflecting on his journey, Cristall feels fortunate to have such supportive mentors. I'm lucky to be in this position, he said. Having friends who've already made it to the NHL gives me a head start in understanding what works and what doesn't. They're genuinely nice people who want to see me succeed. And now, dear reader, we leave you with a question. Do you think Cristall's obsessive study habits will translate into NHL success? Or do you believe raw talent outweighs the need for constant analysis? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think.